In this matchup here, I believe my opponent is a skill level 6. I'm going to have to pull up APA. Let's have a look. And because I see that I have a race to 5, and that's not right. That can't be right. Because I don't think my opponent is a 7. So we're going to look. Yeah, I have this wrong. So let's see here. This is should be if I do this right. Uh-oh, what's not working? Oh, that's not working. There. That should be better. Okay. So yeah, this is a my opponent in this match is a skill level 6. So let's try this again. Like I said, in this match here, this is an opponent that I've actually interviewed on my channel. This is Wayne. He is a good friend of mine. Loves to play against me. Every time our team comes to, every time our teams come to match up, he always wants to play against me. And I think I have another match of ours, an older match, and then of course I have an interview that I had done with him here on my channel. And so this is going to be a race to 5-4. My 5 to his 4. Now, like I said, I'm not keeping track of the innings this time, so let's just watch and see how this match goes. And I will try to keep the cue ball diagram. Where did my scoreboard go? Well, not my scoreboard program. So you can see that I lost the lag. So Wayne's going to get us to start us off. There we go. All right. Gee whiz, I'm like all over the place today. Okay, here we go. Jace, what looks like a coffee table? The pool table? All right, so actually, you know what? Let's try to speed some things up and get rid of the downtime of lagging. Okay, so it looks like Wayne is going to be going for a 8-ball break. So he's going to be hitting the ball that's in the second row. You can see that 8-ball comes flying out of the rack. I saw a ball go into the side pocket. What ball was it? So let's see here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It must have been a stripe. It must have been the 5-ball. So I am stripes on this matchup here. Oh, so our league, Jace, is played on 3.5 by 7 foot tables. So this is what we commonly refer to as a bar box. All right, so let's see how Wayne tries to pick apart this rack. Doesn't really have a whole lot that he can work with here. What do y'all think? What do you think he should do here? I mean, he's solids. He's got all those solids tied up there on the left side of our left side of the rail, and then the one ball just sitting so lonely out here at the bottom half of the table. Yeah, Beasteg, this is from the fall 2021. I have 4 of these that I'm going to be working on. JC, stop asking what city that we're in. If you've been following me long enough, you'll know that I don't like to reveal that type of information. It's got nothing to do with like I'm some hot stuff or anything like that. It comes from me working for the Department of Defense. I used to hold a top secret security clearance, and I have an appreciation for private information remaining private. So if anybody's in the chat, please do not answer that question either. I will at least tell you that this is the central. I live in the Central Texas area. That gives you a wide range places that I could possibly be in, and that's as good as or as close as I'm going to get. So I come to the table here. You can see that Wayne accidentally pocketed one of my balls. This shot there was intentional. Caroming or billiarding off of the 12 ball to basically play that combination that I had of the 13 and the 9 ball to go into the corner pocket. So, but it doesn't leave me much, right? So all I can do now here with the 12 ball is I think I have some bottom right on this. I want the cue ball, I think, to hit below the side pocket and then spin back. Oh, no, never mind. I actually drew it back far enough. Now, we can see that I'm going to have some issues, though. Now, I did happen to notice that this 13 ball here is actually cuttable to the corner pocket. Even though the 14 and the 13 look pretty darn close, there's actually the 14 is actually just slightly above the 13, giving me just enough room to be able to clip the 13 and possibly go into the corner pocket, which is what I end up trying to do with just a rolling cue ball. You see, and all I ended up just doing was undercutting the ball. But now I own that pocket. So I would have to think in a scenario like this, it's probably to my opponent's best interest to actually hit his 3 ball and knock my 13 in to open that pocket up for both his 2 ball, his 4 ball, and his 6 ball. But he plays the 2 ball, comes down table, gets position on the 1. That's actually pretty good. But even when he makes this 1, and if he makes the 7, what's he going to do from here? He's got to probably bank the 4 or bank the 3. He's going to have to do some sort of bank shot on those remaining solids. Looks like we've got some top spin there. It's going to follow the cue ball. Gently follows the cue ball. He has position for the 7 in the side. I'm wondering if that was intentional because he could have just rolled the cue ball forward to get position on the 7 to go into the corner. You can see some top spin again. Oh, look at this. Oh, if he'd have clipped that 3 and knocked my 13 in, that would have been awesome. But this is the point that I was trying to make, to where now that he's gotten to this point, what do you do? Right? So I think the only thing I could see is that he has to try to cross bank the 3 ball into the upper right corner pocket. Otherwise, this is where, again, you would take the shot to where hit your 3 and billiard my 13 in, leaving the cue ball close to the upper left corner pocket. I don't have a shot at my 15 ball, and the shot on my 14 ball is difficult. I think that was probably the best choice that he could have made there. All right, so let's see here. Looks like I'm shooting the 13. If anything, I bet I'm just allowing the cue ball to roll with a touch of right spin, so that way I can try to get position for the 15 to go into the lower left. Kind of like that, but the cue ball, you can see me tapping the chalk on the table. It's like the cue ball rolls just a little too far and leaves me a freaking thin cut shot. This was the same problem that I was having in my straight pool live stream last night, where the cue ball was just rolling just a little too far. And it's not like I want to hit the ball softer. I want to make sure that the cue ball doesn't accidentally roll off course as it's slowly rolling its way towards the object ball. All right, nonetheless, y'all know that I like to do nice thin cut shots. So I think with a rolling cue ball here, I try to cut that 15 ball all the way down to the lower left corner pocket. And look at that. I actually got behind it. So like it's not like it was a 90-degree cut. If we go back and look at it again, let me just pause it here. You can see the angle that I have here, to where if I wanted to illustrate, like this would be the straight line. And why is this not working? Let's close that, bring that back up. Oh, great. So that's at least working. Let's see here. Hang on, more technical difficulties. Actually, it's over here. close that. And then make sure. All right, I think that's everything. Yeah, that looks like everything. Let's see if this works now. There we go. You can see here, hopefully. I should have all this better prepared before the live stream starts. So if this is my straight line, like this, it's not like this is 90 degrees, right? It looks more like this is 90 degrees, and that looks like, or close to 90 degrees, and that looks like pretty much what I actually done, that there was more than enough room for me to be able to cut the 15 ball so much to where I can actually, what would appear that I'm cutting behind it when really I'm not. It's just, you know, understanding the geometry of, you know, how far you're actually able to cut a ball. It's actually not really possible to cut a ball 90 degrees due to cut and deuce throw. You can get pretty darn close to hitting 90 degrees, but not quite exact. Ooh, Wayne had some zing on that ball. This actually looks really good for Wayne right here after me missing that stripe. He can play the 4 ball. Looks like with just a center ball hit here and just come off of the rail. Looks like he's got some topspin though. He seems to favor rolling the cue ball just like that. And so if I were him here, I would probably put some top left spin on the cue ball and send the cue ball 3 rails around. Because the one thing I don't want to happen to my cue ball, I would come out like this because I don't want my cue ball to land somewhere right around here. Which is exactly what he did, because now my 14 ball blocks his 8 ball. I would definitely want to make sure that I hit this with some pace to make sure that I get somewhere over here just so I can have access to that 8 ball, because now it looks like he's going to have to do some sort of curve shot, you know, a slight masse shot, or maybe even kick at the 8 ball. If he kicks at the 8 ball should be more than likely going down here towards the lower left corner pocket. He is marking the side pocket, so I'm betting to see that a masse shot is going to, or a curve shot is going to come up here. So let's see how he does this one. Wants to make sure that he lines it up. Let me move this over here so I can see this better. A-Funk, I'm not going to be doing straight pull again tonight. I'll probably do it in a couple of days though. I'm just anxious to I felt like I should have beat my 35 last night, and I'm anxious to go at it again. So it won't be long before I do it again. Okay, decent attempt. He at least doesn't foul, but unfortunately, there's only 2 balls left on the table for me. No obstacles in the way. Hopefully, hopefully, I should be able to handle this just fine. So looks like, what do I got here? I'm going for the 14 in the upper right corner pocket. This has got to be a rolling cue ball with a touch of left spin. So I should be coming 2 rails around, I think, for the 15 in the side maybe. 1, 2. Just like that. And what is this? This is probably just a little bit of right spin to go 2 rails around again. You can see sometimes there's been a lot of matches where I don't call the 8, I don't mark the 8 ball, and sometimes I do. And then usually when I'm just shooting the 8 ball, I hardly ever use any side spin. The only time I use side spin is when I want to make sure that the cue ball doesn't scratch somewhere coming off of some rails. So that at least puts me up 1-0. I actually think that should have been Wayne's rack, just a small error coming off that last ball. Now, in this session for the fall 2021, this was a session where I was trying to do nothing but make the 8 ball on the break. So you're always going to see me place the cue ball to the our left side of the table. I'm going to be hitting the rack, and I think at this point in time I was still using a little bit of low right because I want the cue ball to draw over the side rail and then spin back and hit the rack again. just so I can ensure that that 8-ball hopefully comes out of the rack. See how the cue ball just flung to the side and then came back and hit the rack again? Now, I don't think I made anything, though. Yeah, I guess I didn't make anything. So it looks like Wayne wants to take solids. Plays the 4-ball, holds the cue ball there, and has position on the 8. Trying to see where the trouble spots are. We can see that we've got the 1-ball here being an issue. The 3-ball is free to go. Might be able to use the 3 to free up the 1. It's going to just roll the 6-ball in just like that. That's a good shot. I can't tell if he can access enough of the 2-ball to be able to go into the side pocket, or if he would foul by hitting my 12-ball. He does have the 5-ball, and it looks like is he going to try to use the 5-ball to break this stuff up? I don't know if he should. If anything, I'd probably just roll the cue ball up to the 7, have the 7 come like right about here, and then just leave the cue ball down here at this end of the table. All of my stripes are up here, so if I'm down here at this end of the table, possibly hooked by the 8-ball, especially if he can get me frozen to the rail, then I don't have shots because I can't control the cue ball. All I could do is just possibly roll the cue ball around. Ooh, what's he going to do here? That was pretty nice. Not really any reward for anything since the cue ball went this way, so not able to deal with this. I have no clue what that could have possibly been, other than now his 2-ball is freed, his 7-ball is in the middle of the table. But now here I come. Let's see. I don't really have a shot. I can possibly try to cut the 14-ball into the upper left corner pocket. I might be able to bank the 9 into the cross side pocket. I don't really see anything else. That's reasonable. Yeah, so it looks like I'm going for the 14-ball. What do I have on the cue ball? That looks like some low right. Oh, and I end up undercutting the ball. What would I have gotten position for? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Maybe be able to shoot the 12-ball here into the lower left corner pocket. All right, so all the while, I'm just not sure playing that 2-ball is like the best thing in the world that you can do, because now you start to put yourself in the scenario that I always talk about that you shouldn't put yourself in, and that is you're clearing off the table, which is all great and wonderful because you appear to be ahead in the rack when you're actually behind. That was a great kick by Wayne there. Good hit there. But now that he's got those 2 balls, the 1 and the 3, all locked up with my other stripes, and now it's not like unless I do something drastic that allows him access to the 1 and the 3, he's not going to get access to the 7. Right? This is a bad position to actually be in. And speaking of Wayne, what's going on, man? Be nice to my buddy here. Do not roast him or myself, like especially when I miss a shot like that. What happened there? This is an example of doing too much. Like, how could I miss something like that? This is an example of doing too much to be able to achieve something. Because let's back up a little bit. If I just make the ball, right, which I would hope everybody can understand, I can clearly make this ball. But if I do, what do I do next? Right? So I actually tried to do too much to create something. Now, maybe, if anything, if I would have just played the ball, looking at this in retrospect, and the cue ball just stops right here, maybe cut the 11 ball into the corner pocket. Maybe from this angle. But what did you see my cue ball do? You see my cue ball do this because I was trying to get position on these two balls here. So I tried to cheat the pocket, and since I'm hitting the what is that? That's the 12 ball. Since I'm hitting the 12 ball so flat, and then I just try to make that millimeter adjustment just to be able to cheat this corner pocket, and with the pace that I put on the cue ball, it's just too much. It's just too much. Mark V, you're saying draw to the 9 and break the 1 and the 10. You know how powerful I have to hit that just to be able to do it? I mean, it is an option, and yes, you're right. I don't know why the score didn't update. There we go. That is an option to be able to do that. But you see how my cue ball drags out to the what would be to our right, and I now have a shot at the 1 or the 11 or the 14. But again, same exact thing. Doing too much when you can just take what the table gives you and then just try to create something. Let's see here. But do you see what I mean, though? In this case, for Wayne, though, is that he has nothing. Since he's put himself in this situation here. And since you're here, bud, you can actually hear some of my critiques that I'm giving you here, because there was a couple of times where I think you're pocketing balls when you shouldn't be pocketing balls, because you have, in this case here, this clutter that you have to deal with. So now here I am. I am going to try to shoot the 11 ball. It looks like I've got some low right on the cue ball. Am I going to be able to cut this in? And I undercut that one. And I've made this clutter worse. So even for this is becoming comparable to my performance that I had in straight pool last night. Mediocre 8-ball performance here. But so Wayne, since you're here in this particular rack, you were able to pick off all the balls that you picked off, and then you had a clutter over here, which you managed to, if I remember correctly, you managed to free the 7 ball out. But like none of this did you any good, because look what's happening. You're having to chase after the ball that's at least out in the open, because it's not like you're going to blast this clutter open and just leave the table open for me to run. Right, so this is not a really good position for you to be in, and I have full advantage of this table, especially since I'm making you kick after the 7, try to come up with something or whatever until mistakes like this happen. And so now here, when I try to make the 9 ball, and then I try to break open the clutter, and I really, really did not want that stripe to fall. That stripe was like an insurance ball for me. But now, at least here, same thing with your 1 ball. Your 1 ball is currently tied up. So it would not be good for you to make your 3 or your 7 just because you can. If you're able to make them and develop your 1 ball, that is probably something you should do. Otherwise, you should take opportunities to be able to set them up. Now, since I broke it out for you, which is usually something that you don't want to rely on. You don't want to rely on your opponent doing something for you, because you're not in control of the rack if you're doing that. Now, maybe at certain skill levels, that might be an okay strategy to actually use. You can see a nice back cut shot there on the 10 ball. Am I going to be able to finish this? I don't really see an issue. Let's see here. 13 will go into the upper right corner pocket. I probably have a touch of left spin on the cue ball. Come down for the 14. You see me shake my head like, oh, I hit that just a little too soft. So am I going to try to cut the 14? I am going to try to cut the 14 into the upper right corner pocket. And since I'm bridged over a ball, more than likely I do not have side spin on the cue ball. I'm just going to try to purely cut this in. And I purely messed that up. Got position on the 12, though. But what does it matter if I miss? Danks 9000, you're saying the 8 ball in the side break never works. All it does is cluster the balls on the side that you broke from. As a higher level player, you should know it's better to break head on to run out more. I will show you some racks where your statement is actually false. So stay tuned. All right, so Wayne comes to the table. Yeah, Mark V. I mean, it happens. I mean, I can't play, top tier or APA 7 level tier all the time. Everybody has their off night. All depends on the layout of the table. Like this shot that I'm about to do here. I can either try to go for the combination. And that's why when I was going to, like, if I was going to review this separately, this was literally going to be titled something to the effect of, like, keep it simple. Because I'm trying to do more complex stuff in this matchup here than I should have. I should have just kept it more simple, like right there. I'm trying to blast that 12 ball in so I can get position on the 14 ball because they were fairly straight in. And it ends up causing me to miss the shot. Just like when we were watching me play straight pool, every time I tried too much to like overthink something to be able to develop something, I either get out of line or I miss the current shot. And I said that plenty of times last night during my live stream to where it's like I'm thinking more about the end result than the current situation that I'm on, which should always be make the ball. The highest priority should always be make the ball, and then the secondary thing would be get position on the next ball. Let's see here. Wayne with another opportunity to be able to clean the table up. Does he play the 7 ball into the upper right corner pocket, or does he play it into the right side pocket? Tries to go to the upper right corner pocket, but just ends up hitting it a little too full and not cutting it enough. So here's a similar cut shot that I had before, except it was a little bit higher up on the table. It was like somewhere over in this area here. My only option is to try to cut the 12 ball into the bottom left corner pocket. I do have a touch of bottom spin and right spin as I'm going to try to zigzag my way back up table. Bump it. There we go. Much would have rather have been somewhere over here because it makes it simple. But I pull out my left-handed shot, and this has got to be with some bottom right spin also to come on where I'm at, basically, to hopefully have a shot at the 8 ball. Gently shoot the 14 ball in, fairly straight in on the 8 ball to go into the corner pocket. And I believe this is the same corner pocket that I shot it in from the last rack. There we go. Let's see if this auto updates now. There we go. So currently 2-0. Oh, let's see. I forgot. Cue ball will be this right here. Let's see how this break works out. See, I don't know. Danks 9000. That doesn't look like a very cluttered up table. At least to me, it doesn't. Now, one can argue, well, how many gaps were in the rack that actually caused stuff like this to happen? Now, I will give you, though, that what you're describing does happen, where the side that you're breaking from, you'll see a lot of balls float over to the other side rail and then bounce their way back over to the other side rail. That is a thing that does happen. But if you can actually tweak around with where exactly you're striking that ball that's in the second row, you can manipulate the results of the rack. And that's usually something that I've been working on a little bit more, to where I actually create this type of a spread. And so long as my cue ball execution is actually on par, I can still actually break and run racks with this type of break here. Doesn't always happen, but I also don't get this decent of a spread on every second ball break either. All right, so right now, this is actually looking pretty good for me. Let's see here. there it looks like I'm checking to see what kind of angle I'm going to need to be able to shoot the 6 ball here into the lower left corner pocket. What do I got there? Is that a little bit of follow with some left spin? Oh no, that was right spin. So that means I'm going to be shooting the 3. So if anything, I have to be rolling the cue ball with, for the 3 ball. I want the cue ball to just roll here and then come right out here, hopefully. So I have that angle on the 6. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Let's go back and look at that shot again. I actually have some bottom left because I'm going to zigzag the cue ball down here so I can shoot the 6 ball here into the side pocket. So this is kind of the zigzagging pattern that I wanted last time where I shot the stripe that was up here and I had to shoot it left-handed. And so now really I can see that the 8 ball does go here and the 8 ball does go here, but if you look at the natural path of the cue ball, the natural path of the cue ball is going to want to do something like this. So I have to allow it to go. So my hope is to be able to land right around here to be in line for the 8 ball to go up here into the upper left corner pocket. Oh, I didn't catch the side rail, so now I'm stuck down here. All right, I didn't catch the side rail with the correct amount of spin to be able to do what I wanted, but I do have the shot that I want, which is to play the 8 ball here into the upper left corner pocket. Nailed it. And that was a break and run. That puts me up 3-0. See how that 8 ball comes loose? And again, look, do you see balls cluttered up on the side? So that's pretty much what I'm talking about. Just didn't really like where my cue ball ended up, that's for sure. And look at the 8 ball. Like I said, I'm the whole point of what I say about when you hit the, like, it used to be basically saying, like, if you hit the ball that's in the second row, and if you're on the left side of the table, you're sending the 8 ball to the right side pocket, and if you're on the right side of the table, you're sending the 8 ball to the left side of the pocket. I don't really like to say that message anymore. All I really like to say is, like, when you do this, if you do it quote unquote good enough, the 8 ball is going to move out of the rack. And as long as you're moving the 8 ball out of the rack, at least in the APA league, since 8 ball on the breaks do count as a win, that is the part that increases your chances of winning strictly off of the break. Because I've at least made that 8 ball in all kinds of different pockets, at least from doing the second ball break. So it looks like I gently slow rolled the 12 ball into the corner pocket. I'm going to have to figure out what to do with this guy right here. That's why I'm looking. You can see I'm over here checking to see, can I shoot this ball past the 3 in between, or past the 5 and go into the left corner pocket? I don't remember if I could or if I couldn't. And it looks like I've got the 9 ball here, the 14 ball here, and the 11 ball here. This is going to be my most troublesome ball. What is that? That looks like a little bit of draw. And some right spin. I got to be getting position for the 11 in the side. Yeah, that gesturing right there has to be that I want to get I got to get pinpoint position on the 9 to shoot into the corner pocket and be able to bump into the 15 ball. So I think here I just have a rolling cue ball. And see, I don't think I got it. I don't think this gives me the right angle. You can see exactly where I'm pointing that the cue ball is going to run into. And does that mean that this 15 ball passes the 3? Because I can't break it out. I don't have an angle to do so. Looks like I have a little bit of draw. Because I want to make sure that I run into that 4 ball just like that. You can see I shake my head. I'm not too happy about that. So it does look like that I might be able to cut the ball past the 3. Yep. If I'm doing that, that means I can. The ball is cuttable. The window's probably got to be like so small. 8 ball sitting right over here. Now, if I don't make this shot, Wayne has a huge advantage on this rack. Because this is what I talk about all the time. And I'm not putting bottom spin. I'm putting a little bit of top spin. And you can see I overcut the ball because I glanced right off of the 3. So now Wayne has a huge advantage over this rack. Unexperienced player would look at this and go, Wayne's losing because look how many balls are on the table. Well, in order for me to be able to shoot my 15 ball, Wayne has to make a mistake that allows me to be able to shoot the 15 ball. As long as he can stay in some sort of control, I'm never going to have a shot at the 15 ball. And I'm not talking about if he just runs out. Because if he figures that he can't run out, then hopefully he would know to put the cue ball in a position where I do not have a shot at the 15 ball. Now in this position here, it looks like he has to go for the run out because he's clearing out the upper half of the table. He has no more balls that he's going to be able to use that allows him to keep the cue ball up here to where I'm going to have to play some sort of bank shot on the 15 ball. So this almost looks like do or die. Let's see what he does here. If I had to guess, I would probably play the 7 ball. Looks like he's going to play the 2. I would probably play the 7 ball here and allow my cue ball to come like this to get position on the 2. Now he plays the 2. Cue ball's going from side to side. Now it looks like he has the 1 ball that he can play. What's the 3 ball pattern that he's going to play here? Do you play the 1 ball here? And it looks like there's a cut angle, so you have to make sure that you come over to the side rail like this and maybe back out for the 6. Oh, he super drew that. Look, it still ends up right where I at least drew the line. So now that means he has to be shooting the 6 ball in here. And I don't know, do you stun out to here? It's always hard to tell with the camera angle that I have. And then shoot the 7 over here. That means the 8 goes over here, maybe? I don't think you want to risk the cue ball doing this. You know, catch the wrong side of the 8 ball. If you hit the 8 ball full in the face, then you're perfect because then your 7 ball can go right over here. Oh, it looks like we got a timeout. And heck, you know, I don't know what's more difficult. It looks like you can shoot the 7. Oh, he does roll that and see it like that. That almost worked out. And whoa, okay, that was a close one. Now it looks like you can shoot the 7 into the side pocket here and just have the cue ball come out over here, and then that means the 8 should be going over here. Yeah, just like that. Eight ball in the lower left corner pocket. Oh, and it wipes its feet on the way in, but Wayne gets on the board. Current score, 3-1. Okay, let's have a look at Wayne's break. Okay, pretty decent spread. Cluttered all up there in the middle. What did you make? Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 solids and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stripes. So you are solids. What issues do you have on the table? You're going to shoot the 1 ball. That looks pretty obvious. I probably would have taken a little bit more time than to just shoot it in. Make sure you know exactly where you're wanting that cue ball to be for your next shot. I have to believe you were trying to get position maybe on the 5 ball, but you've also clearly could have gotten position on the 7 ball as well. I think you might have rushed that one. Oh, nice 6-7 combination though. Holy cow. Let's see. That allows you to play the 6 down here into the lower left corner pocket. With the rolling cue ball, you can get position here on your 5. It'll probably be a back cut angle on the 5. I don't think you can just get it to nicely stop unless you do that. But that doesn't look like it helped. Do you now have to play a 2-5 combo? And then what are we doing with this guy? Nice 2-5 combo. You might be able to get position on him here for the upper right corner pocket from this position. You're going to have to bump my 12 out of the way, though, because it looks like you're hitting my 12 no matter what. This is looking pretty good, Wayne. Draw, though. Not sure I agree with the draw decision. I think I would have tried to possibly push through my 12, and I want to try to land in this window here for the 4 to go into the upper right corner. That's, of course, unless the 14 ball blocks it too much. Are we going to be trying to cross bank the 4 ball into the side pocket? 8 ball makes that pocket a little bit bigger. Oh, nice try. Nice try. Do we get an APA? We do not. Nice try on that one. All right, but unfortunately, when you do a miss like that, you just put yourself in the position I was in last rack. So let's see if I can run the table after your run out mistake. Play the ball into the side pocket. Looks like I have position on the 12. What am I going to do from the 12? That looks like a little bit of low left. What am I doing? Pulling it out back to the center of the table. Very dominant position to be in. This looks like more low left. Am I playing the 8 in the side, or am I going to be playing the 8 in the lower left corner? 14 ball looks like it's going to be next. I'll probably just have a rolling cue ball so I can play the 15 next, right after that. And then probably with another rolling cue ball. Nope, that actually looks a little bit stun, probably with some left spin. Is this 2-rail position with low left? That is 2-rail position. That looks like a rolling cue ball. Go from one side rail to the other. 8 ball in the lower left corner pocket. Okay, so I didn't bother because when I saw that I shot the ball that was down here, I thought maybe I could have used that as a setup ball for the 8 to maybe go in the side pocket, but I guess I didn't like the cut angle going into the side pocket, so I ran this route instead. And that puts me on the hill. Okay, so there's at least a bit of what Danks 9000 was talking about, because now I do have a bit of a clutter that's pushed over to the left side rail when balls went one way and then came back over another. So like I said, it is a thing that does happen. Let's see here. What did I make on the break? I wasn't paying attention to that. It looks like it's an open table. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's an open table. Let's see here. Oh, that's right. I remember this. Again, an example of doing too much to try to create something. Watch what I do here. Everybody's going to be like, what the heck was he trying to do? If we go back and look, what I'm trying to do here is, one, I want to claim solids, clearly, since I shot the 7 ball. But what I was trying to do was to be able to combo the 7 into the 2 and make the 2. But then you also see that I'm putting a little bit of stun on the cue ball, because I'm trying to make sure that I can slightly cut the 7 into the 2 and then be able to break my 6 out. Because if I accomplish all of that, because the 6 ball was going to be the only trouble ball I was going to have. So again, trying to do too much too soon could be similar to the straight pool strategy, to where like maybe I should have tried to do this at a later time rather than right away. But because of all of that nonsense, again, I end up missing the task at hand, which is to play the 2-7 combination. Because if I was just going to play the 2-7 combination and not worry about anything else, I wouldn't be hitting it that hard. But because I know of how full I'm hitting the 7 ball, I know to get it over to hit that 6 loose, because now the 6 is loose, I got to put some pace behind that ball. And that's why I hit that hard. Normally, you would hardly ever see me hit a ball that hard. But because I missed a shot after the break and it was an open table, the table is still open. So Wayne likes stripes. Bumps the 9 into the side pocket. Looks like he has position for the 11. The 15 looks like it's going to have to go to the left side pocket. I can't tell if the 14 ball passes the 4 to go into the upper right corner pocket. Wayne's playing a rolling cue ball here. Oh, he gets past the 15 to go to the 14 in the opposite side, but he's too far past the shot line of the 14 ball to where now he can't even get position on the 15 ball to go into the left side pocket. Because watch, his cue ball is going to come down and give him position for the 13. Unless he overrolls it like that. Whoops. Still makeable. He can still try to cut it into the upper right corner pocket, but he's going to have to really control his cue ball if he's going to want to have access to his 15 ball. Because I don't think the 15 ball goes in the lower left past my 3 ball. Oh, nice try. Nice try. Yeah, we can see when you drop your stick on the table like that, you can tell when the frustration really starts to set in after that. All right, so let's see here. What do I got? Got the 6 in the corner. It looks like I'm drawing the cue ball. Come down to the 3. This is probably with what? Some low right. Come back towards the middle of the table. Kind of like that. Got to be a bit of a stop shot here on the 4, I would think, unless there's too much of an angle. Stop shot on the 4. 7 in the corner, 2 in the corner, 8 most likely to go down here in the bottom right. This looks like some top left, maybe? Nope, just top spin, as I just rolled this in. This will be with some right spin. I know that. Or, no, never mind. Left spin, bottom left. Yeah, to get fairly, I thought I would have gone the 2/3 rail route, high inside 3 railer to get the same exact thing, but I decided to go with the low left shot. I'm gonna play the 8 ball into the lower right corner pocket. Should be for the win, and it is. Okay, so end up pulling that one off 5-1. And the only thing that I know that should be a lesson to myself as well as anybody that was watching, because I am not going to disagree that was a poor performance by both of us. Wayne had at least a couple of opportunities where he could have taken the rack, but he just missed like his last remaining ball. And then you saw plenty of times where I was trying to do too much with the cue ball in order to create. a run out. And that's usually how I like to try to play 8-ball, because I just want to be able to see if I can just always kind of run the table. When if I were playing in bigger tournaments, I do tend to play a little bit more conservative, a little bit more cautious, and try to make sure that I develop balls and stuff rather than trying to always try to just run out. So if I actually played that way here in my local league, I would actually have much higher inning matches rather than always trying to run. I've got plenty of older matches on my channel where I'm able to finish off in like 4 innings, 5 innings, 6 or 7. But every once in a while, I can get into the double digits when it comes to. Well, I don't think I ever get into the double digits on a single. It'll be rare if I ever get into the double digits of innings on a single rack, though it does happen, especially when me and my opponent are just trading safeties left and right. But that would be the best thing that that I can advise. So Wayne, if you saw on this here, I think it would be best that if you can identify that you're not going to be able to run the table, specifically because you have clutters that you currently just do not know how you're going to be able to develop them, then it doesn't really do you any good to be able to make the balls that you're able to make and then hope that I end up opening the clutter for you, so that way you can have access to your last remaining balls. So sometimes that could be an okay strategy to deal with, but in my opinion, that just means that you do not have control of the rack, and you always want to try to get control of the rack, especially when you don't have it. So it would probably be best to maneuver the balls that you can access to create break balls to where you can make them and then break the clutter out at the same time. And then, of course, have other balls that are not in trouble, to where if you do break out the clutter and you don't have a shot, then hopefully the other balls that you left alone will serve as good backup shots. That's at least an advice that I've been repeating over and over again on a lot of my matches, where my opponents would run the table on me but not finish the table, which ends up most of the time causing them to lose the rack.